Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. Order of operations with integers. That's this video, that's what we're going to talk about. You guys have been doing the operations with integers, add, subtract, multiply, and divide. In this video we're actually going to be doing the order of operations. Now, your objective for this video is as a student you should be able to apply the order of operations so that you can simplify numerical expressions. All of these will include negative numbers, however they will not include exponents because those are tricky when we talk about negative numbers. I do want to let you know, playoff hockey is the absolute best thing you can watch on TV, and it's going on right now. Pittsburgh Penguins, Washington Capitals, nasty game, but pretty awesome. Here we go. Hey, you're going to need graphic organizer number 3, side number 2, and don't forget that we always use integers in real life all the time. We use it for money, we use it with temperature, and we use it with sea level. So those things you should have a pretty good experience with. We've talked about them a lot in this class, and we'll continue to talk about those throughout the rest of the year. Alright, we're going to start with example number 1. Alright, and the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is for these, that a lot of times these things are written where there is a parentheses around every negative sign. And I don't really like that because if you have a bunch of negatives, it gets really difficult. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to rewrite this problem, and then I'm going to start from there. So I'm going to write 8 divided by, and then in parentheses 7 minus 9, times, and I like to use the dot, not the x, 4 plus, and I'm just going to put, when I write my negatives, I like to write it at the top kind of. So it's at the top, not right next to it, so you can tell the difference between a subtraction sign and a negative sign. And there we go. So, order of operations, what do we do? Well, remember we always follow the order of operations, which is parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract. And we're always going to start with the parentheses, and we're going to work from left to right. So we're going to start with our first parentheses because there's 2 of them. We always start on the left, so 7 minus 9. Well, 7 minus 9, if you apply bills and allowances, ends up being negative 2. So because I finished everything in those parentheses, I got rid of them. 8 divided by negative 2 times 4 plus a negative 4. Next one, we should do the second parentheses, which is 4 plus negative 4, which happens to be 0. 8 divided by negative 2 times 0. What would we do next? Well, we work down to multiply and divide because there's no exponents. So 8 divided by negative 2, a positive divided by a negative is going to be a negative, which is going to give us negative 4 times 0. And negative 4 times 0 is just simply 0. So your answer for this first one should be 0. Example number 2. Once again, I told you there is parentheses around every negative sign, and this is a specific example where it makes it more difficult. So let's get rid of them. Here's the deal. We're going to have 4 times negative 4 divided by negative 2 minus a negative 3 plus a negative 6, and our ending parentheses. Now, things should be a little bit easier. First thing that we should always do is follow order of operations, which means we're going to do the parentheses first. However, there's multiple operations inside that parentheses, and the one that we're going to start with is multiply and divide because we no longer have any exponents. So, multiplying and dividing. We go from left to right. We're going to divide first. 4 times negative 4 divided by negative 2. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, which means we would get 2 minus a negative 3 plus a negative 6. Now, next one we have a subtraction, and we have an addition problem left. And when we have those, we work from left to right. So we're going to start with this one. However, this is a subtracting a negative, and if you remember correctly, that was a special rule where we create a plus sign out of those 2 of them. We connect them together, and they create a plus sign. So really, we have 4 times 2 plus 3, which is 5, plus a negative 6. Okay, we're going to do in parentheses 5 plus negative 6, which is negative 1. 4 times a negative 1. 4 times a negative 1 equals negative 4, and that's your answer for example number 2. Moving on, example number 3. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, rewrite it 6. Okay, oops, I'm sorry, I got to go back. Trying to do example number 3. Okay, we're going to rewrite it 6 times 5 minus a negative 5 plus 2 divided by 8. Now we clean that up, follow the order of operations. I'm going to write it here on the side just in case so I can remember it. We're going to go ahead and do left to right because it's only adding and subtracting in there, and we're going to go We have two negatives. We create a positive. Remember, that's the rule. You can't subtract a negative. That's a refund under our system. 5 plus 5 is 10. Plus 2. I'm going to go ahead and do that one next. Okay, finish off our parentheses. 6 times 12 divided by 8. We got to go ahead and move left to right. 6 times 12 is 72 divided by 8, and that's going to give us 9 as our answer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. All right, example number 4. Getting close, I'm going to rewrite it first. Okay, we have 9 times 3 minus 5 plus a negative 2 divided by a negative 3. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a subtraction and an addition problem, so we're going to do left to right. So we're going to subtract in parentheses first. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So we have 9 times negative 2 plus a negative 2, okay, divided by a negative 3. Negative 2 plus a negative 2, those are both bills, so 9 times negative 4 divided by negative 3. Now we have multiply and divide. We work from left to right. 9 times negative 4 is negative 36 divided by negative 3. And a negative divided by a negative is going to give us a positive. So our answer should be a positive 12. And that's our answer. Alright, that is our 4 examples. Hopefully you've got an idea of what's going on. Right now your job is to do the following 2 problems. You can go ahead and pause this video, pause it quickly, and then attempt them yourself. Good luck. Alright, I'm back. We're going to go real quick. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is rewrite it 10 minus 3 times a negative 7 plus 9. Okay, and then close our parentheses and divide by 5. I'm going to go ahead and get started. In parentheses, we have multiplication first. We have 3 times a negative 7. Okay, 3 times a negative 7. And how do I know that's not negative 3? Honestly, I know it's not a negative 3 because that symbol up here is our subtraction problem. So I can do 3 times the negative 7, which is going to be negative 21. But I'll give you a hint. It's not going to matter if you count it as a negative or a subtraction problem. It does not matter. You're going to end up with the same exact problem. Okay, so here we go. 10 minus 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. So minus negative 21 plus 9. And we're going to divide that by 5. Okay, we're going to go ahead and work left to right. You should have done that. 10 plus 21 is 31 plus 9 divided by 5. You should have had 40 divided by 5, which gives you 8 as your answer. That's for example number 1. Let's check and see how you did on this last one. Okay, you could have gone ahead and rewritten it, but this one looks like you don't really need to. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you would have done is in these parentheses right here. Okay, actually I am going to go ahead and rewrite it because quite honestly, I just don't like it. I think it's harder to look at it that way. So minus 8 plus 3 times a negative 3. So we got adding and subtracting. We have negative 4 divided by negative 4 plus 3 times negative 3. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. Negative 4 divided by negative 1 times negative 3. Negative 4 divided by negative 1 should have given you 4 times negative 3, which equals negative 12, and those were your answers. Hopefully you did those 2 correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, right now you have an exit ticket. These 2, I would strongly advise you to rewrite them, especially the first one, number 1, because it's going to be really difficult. Just what we're saying is when we rewrite them, get rid of those little parentheses that are only around the negative numbers. So for example, this one right here, this one right here, this one right here. Okay, we also have on the second one, we have a parenthesis around this guy and this guy that really we could just rewrite. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and clear those. You guys can go ahead and attempt these. Show them to Mr. Williams when you're done. Make sure you got your graphic organizer filled out. And, whoa, that was a nasty hit and a big giant fight in the game. And it's going to be a brawl. We got the Capitals and the Penguins. Nasty hit. Good luck.